This is the Toyota Yaris Cross G. This is the base model in the lineup. In this video, we're going to do a walk around and we'll see how it stacks up against other Toyota models like the Raize Turbo and the Yaris Cross V. So, is this worth your money? Let's find out. So here on the outside, the differences between the G and the V are very minor. One subtle difference is that this faucet plate is finished in matte black, while on the V variant it's finished in silver. So this gets smaller 17-inch wheels, while the V variant gets bigger 18s. These are wrapped in 215/60 Bridgestone tires. So this also gets power folding side mirrors, but you don't get cameras on the side mirrors anymore because this doesn't come with a 360 camera. Like the V variant, this also gets a smart locking system, so you can lock or unlock the vehicle without having to get the key out of your pocket. You also get a functional roof rack over here. You get disc brakes on all four corners. So here at the back, they also look almost exactly the same, except that the faucet plate is finished in matte black as well. Like the V variant, this also gets LED tail lamps. You don't get any G badging here. And this one comes with a manual liftgate. Now, space here at the back is exactly the same as the other variants of the Yaris Cross. Cargo space is the same across the variants of the Yaris Cross. All variants get a removable tonneau cover, and the second row seats fold flat to the floor. Now, compared to the Raize, the cargo space of the Yaris Cross is much wider and deeper. It also has a bigger opening. Both the G and V variants are mechanically identical. They both have the same 1.5-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, which puts out 104 horsepower and 138 Newton-meters of torque. They both have CVT transmissions. The suspension and the brakes are exactly the same between the two variants. They both get McPherson's at the front, a torsion beam suspension at the back, and they both get disc brakes on all four corners. Okay, so here on the inside, the most noticeable difference between the G and the V are the seats. So this comes with fabric seats which are manually adjustable, while the V comes with leather seats and the driver's seat is power adjustable. But the dashboard and the sidings look almost the same as the V variant. Like the V, you also get this leather wrapped panel over here with this blue accent. This is leather wrapped over here. You also get this aluminum looking accent over here. The steering wheel is leather wrapped. You get fewer buttons on it because this does not come with Toyota Safety Sense. And you also don't get paddle shifters. Like the V, this also gets a wireless phone charger. You get a push start button. You get one USB-A port and one USB-C port. You get an electronic parking brake with auto hold. Basically, this entire thing over here is exactly the same as the V variant. It also gets the same 10-inch screen. It comes with Apple CarPlay, it comes with Android Auto. But unlike the V variant, this does not come with a 360 camera. It only comes with a reverse camera. The sidings are also soft touch, and you also get leather wrapped armrests, but you don't get ambient lighting here, which you get on the V variant. Like the V variant, this also gets a digital instrument cluster. Yeah, overall, I think this looks very good for a base model Toyota. So here at the back, except for the seats, it's exactly the same as the V variant. Like the V variant, you also get dual air vents over there. You get two USB-C ports down there. You also get a center armrest with two cup holders. Headroom is good. They have about 3.5 inches. And legroom is also pretty good. They have about 4.5 to 5 inches. Is the Yaris Cross G worth the upgrade from the Raize Turbo? The Yaris Cross sits between the Corolla Cross and the Raize in terms of size and pricing. the Yaris Cross G in particular sits closer to the Raize Turbo in terms of pricing. Which begs the question, is the Yaris Cross G worth the upgrade from the Raize Turbo? Now, if you own the Raize Turbo, no, it doesn't make sense to sell it and then buy the Yaris Cross G. But if you have neither vehicle and you have to choose between the two, the Yaris Cross G has a number of advantages. The Yaris Cross G is a lot more spacious. If the Raize feels like a lifted Wigo, the Yaris Cross feels like a lifted Vios. That means you're less likely to rub elbows with your passengers, and you can fit 3 people more comfortably at the back. The Yaris Cross G also has significantly more cargo space than the Toyota Raize. The 4-cylinder engine of the Yaris Cross G feels more refined. It doesn't vibrate as much as the 3-cylinder engine of the Raize, especially when you're idling. The noise insulation of the Yaris Cross is also better than the Raize. The interior materials of the Yaris Cross G overall feel better. You have fewer cheap plastics, and you don't see cost cutting as much. Now, the price difference between the Yaris Cross G and the Raize Turbo is about 130,000 pesos. And if you're a family man, the Yaris Cross G makes more sense, as the space inside the Raize can be quite cramped for a growing family. The Yaris Cross G also feels like a better built vehicle in general. So, which variant of the Yaris Cross offers the best value? The hybrid is the top-of-the-line model, and it's the most feature-packed. It's almost 300,000 pesos more expensive than the V variant, but for that price, you get the hybrid system, which means better fuel economy and number coating exemption. On top of that, it also gets a panoramic sunroof. Now, those things might make the jump from the V seem worth it, but it's also priced just 80,000 pesos less than the bigger, more powerful, and more spacious Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid. And unless your parking space is very limited, I think the Corolla Cross Hybrid makes more sense. The G variant at 1.19 million pesos, I think, is a worthy upgrade from the top-of-the-line Raize Turbo. Like I said before, it feels more refined. The interior feels less basic. The NVH levels are also much better. It's also a lot more spacious than the Toyota Raize. If you absolutely must have a Toyota crossover, I think this is a better option than the Raize Turbo. But compared to other crossovers in the same price bracket, having only fabric seats and no ADAS, the Yaris Cross G doesn't really stand out. When you factor everything in, the price, the features, the competitors in the same price bracket, I think the Yaris Cross V is the sweet spot in the lineup. It sells for just 100,000 pesos more than the base model, but for that price, you get leather seats with power adjustment. Now, some brands will charge you that much for leather seats alone, but you also get ADAS, a 360 camera, and a power liftgate. Now, that makes it one of the best equipped, if not the best equipped Japanese crossover for the price. And even if you compare it to Chinese crossovers, it still stacks up.